it's just not my cup of tea, and I think as a game, to me, it's a failure. To me, it's like, I would give it a very, very, very low rating as a game, but as a movie or a book, if this game were like Final Fantasy, they made a movie, an animated movie. I feel like if they took this and made it an animated movie instead of a game, then yes, I would buy that instantly, because the story, after reading this guy's comments that I found, which I'm about to display and I'm about to read off to you, I understand everything. I mean, it was interesting to me before, but now after reading this, I'm kind of intrigued. And as a movie, I think this would have been amazing, but as a game, I think it's a failure, in my opinion. So I'm gonna read these comments off to you after I was watching a complete an all endings video for Death Stranding, where it showed all the endings, and it was kind of mind bending. It was kind of mind fuckery, to be honest. But after reading this guy's comments, I can go back, understand everything that I'm watching, and I'm just so happy I found this guy's comments in the video. I mean, he was kind of the top comment, so it wasn't hard to like find him, but god damn, man, I don't know who this guy is, but he somehow understands literally everything. And he kind of just went off giving a bunch of different comments, so I'm gonna read them off to you. And hopefully this video kind of gives understanding to people who don't really want to play the game, who are not really a big fan of the gameplay loop, but are really interested in the story itself. So yeah, let's get started. Sam was born from a still mother, which I expect is someone stuck in a coma or is brain dead, named Lisa Bridges. His father, Clifford Unger, a former U.S. Spec Ops captain. He agreed to work with the President Strand to help save his son and wife, but later realized that his prematurely born baby son would be used as a prototype BB to lay a foundation of the chiral network. The nature of baby Sam's birth meant he, as a BB, had an equal connection between the sides of the living and the dead, and the orange vessel he was kept in would maintain that state, meaning he would stay in that fashion, never growing up to be a proper child. Cliff rebelled, killing his comatose wife to put her out of her misery and attempting to escape with BB Sam from the facility. But was cornered and gunned down. Unfortunately for President Strand, BB Sam was killed as collateral damage. In the limbo region called the beach, whereas the Ka half of Strand, Amelie, resides, BB Sam was found. Amelie and Strand, both two halves of the same person, decided out of material affection to use their EE powers to revive the BB, which makes the revived Sam a repatriate, someone who can return from limbo post-death. The nature of the process, owing to an unforeseen side effect, triggered Death Stranding, a significant dissolution of the barriers between the realms of the living and the dead. Many creatures from the living plane were transported to the beach plane, while roaming spirits from the limbo plane, called BTs, were in turn transported to the plane of the living. This caused sizable apocalyptic events. The plane of death and the BTs in the essence are composed of antimatter, and when they devour someone who is alive, the reaction causes a massive explosion that leaves a crater. Since the events of Sam's death and revival occurred first on U.S. soil, That is where the phenomenon of Death Stranding gradually began to occur, laying waste to most of the US in the process. The revived baby Sam no longer could serve as a BB, but the research data until that point were sufficient enough to produce artificial clones of baby Sam to be used as BT detectors and other purposes. The real baby Sam was adopted by President Strand and raised as her own son. As an adult, he marries a woman, but an unfortunate miscarriage and death causes a void out of his wife's body. And Sam, suffering both from losing his wife, his unborn child, and public persecution, leaves his life to become a delivery guy. Now, the end of that like entire like synopsis where he's after everything, he just leaves his life to become a delivery guy. This would have made like I would have this so stupid, but God Almighty, I would have loved this as a movie or a book, but God, a video game, you see. I just don't see it. I don't see the appeal in the gameplay loop of this game. But you know, I guess it's just depends on the person. And I'm not a fan of anyone saying you just don't get it. It's not that I don't get it. I get it. I just don't like it. And there's a difference between that. And whether you get it or not, I mean, if you don't like it, then why should I care? I don't care about the gameplay loop. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for the story, and the story is what intrigues me, which is why I'm really appreciative of this guy and his comment on the video. The video is going to be linked in the description. I recommend you really go watch the video first and then read his comment, because Jesus Christ, you understand everything, and then you want to go back and watch it and you're just like, oh my God, I understand every single thing that's going on in this, like all these endings, all these explanations. I understand everything now. And he even goes on to actually say more things. Like I took screenshots, and I actually took screenshots of what I thought was important, because he actually goes in depth